Going to call to order the hearing on the application of Jimmy and Amy Stonaris. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Dated May 24th, 2022, on file with the Board of Appeals for a special permit to allow a full second-story addition, which would violate the terms of Section 6C1 of the Milton zoning bylaw. The applicant proposes to build a full second-story addition above the existing home and a 21 by 26.6 and 2.4-story addition to the rear of their home at 41 Berlin Avenue. A plot plan shows, dated 4/3/22, shows that these additions would be built at a distance of 9.3 feet from the right side property line when 10 feet are normally required. The property resides in a residency zoning district, and we have the file includes a denial letter from our building inspector Joe Prondak, a plot plan and architectural drawings and specifications for the proposed application. So I'd like to anyone that is going to be speaking at the hearing tonight, I'd ask them to state their name and their address nice and loud and clear so we can make a full record of it. And so therefore, I'd like to welcome the Stenarises to the Board of Appeals and ask them to describe their application, what they're planning to do.
Great, thank you. Again, my name's Amy Sternaris, and my husband Jimmy is with me, and we live on 41 Berlin Ave. We are looking to add an addition to our currently single-family home in the rear, as well as add an addition to the second half of our second floor. We currently have a Cape house, and we are looking for a permit or a special variance, I might add, if that's what it's called, because when our house was built in the early 1940s, it was non-conforming. It wasn't a full 10 feet from where our property line ends. So as we want to add the addition to the rear and to up as well on the second story, we would need clearance to make it in line with the rest of the existing structure at 9.3 inches.
Okay, and so currently you're at 9.3 currently, and you're not going to be any further into the setback than already exists. Is that correct?
Right.
Correct.
Okay. And would the addition be in keeping with the existing house as far as, siding or materials used and so forth, so that it looks like one house as opposed to a big addition onto a house?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. We currently want to change, we're going to keep the vinyl siding, but we do want to change the paint color. So it'll be all uniform when we're finished.
Right, so it'll be uniform at the end, the work that you're doing on the current house as well as the proposed addition to the house.
Yeah.
Okay. I also noticed that we have a letter here from your neighbor, Stephen Fratalia. And I believe he is from the right side of your neighbor to the right. Is that correct? Right. And so yes. He would be, I don't have his address. We can look that up later, but so he would be the neighbor most affected by your proposed addition?
No, he's on the other side.
He's on the other side.
He's on our, yeah, if you're in the house, he's on our right.
He's on the right-hand side, okay.
Yep.
Okay, and he is in favor of your application. Just want to put that on the record. And sure. Your neighbors to the courses, Derek and Venetia, they're your neighbors to the right, according to the, oh, wait a minute. Nope, sorry, I'm reading the plot plan wrong. James and Eileen Keeney are your neighbors to the right? And have you talked to them about the application?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in favor of it?
Yeah.
Yes, they're very happy for it actually.
Okay. Um,
I think mostly because they want us to stay.
they like their neighbors. That's good.
Yeah, we got
Um,
lucky too on our end.
That's great. That's great. It's nice when neighbors get along as well as that. Is there anything else? Crystal, is there anybody else that wants to speak at this hearing in Zoom land?
I don't see anyone with their hand raised, no.
Okay. Then I'm going to close the evidentiary portion of the hearing and I'll deliberate on the merits of this application. And I do have to say that this looks like, from the plans and everything, it looks like it's going to be a really wonderful addition for you and your family, make the house a lot more livable and not maybe continuing the existing nonconformity, but not making it any worse than it is right now, just extending it along the same line. And I find
Right.
that would not, go ahead. And that would not be something that I think it's going to be a nice enhancement to the house as well as the neighborhood, and would probably enhance the values of the houses around you in your neighborhood. So because this is such a de minimis setback infringement, if you will, I'm going to vote in favor of granting you the special permit to build your proposed addition to your house. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll be writing a decision on this that needs to be filed with the Registry of Deeds. And even after this is filed by Crystal Rich, our administrator, with Susan Galvin, our town clerk, there's a 20-day waiting period for that somebody could appeal this if they felt like doing it. It doesn't appear that that's going to happen, but we have to wait. So, so once that's been filed in the 20-day appeal period ends, file that with the Registry of Deeds, and you can start pulling your building permits at that point. So congratulations and enjoy your newly enlarged and renovated home.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenny.
All
We
right.
appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Crystal. Are we free to go?
Oh, yes, you are. I'm sorry. You can go and rejoice and have a little celebratory
Yeah.
beverage, perhaps.
Yep, it's almost 5 o'clock. That sounds about
There you
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have a
Take
great day,
care.
everyone. Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.
call the meeting to the 4:30 hearing to order on the application of Livia Fontes, dated October 19th, 2021, on on file with the Board of Appeals for a special permit allowing an addition which would violate the terms of Section 6C4 of the Milton zoning bylaw. The applicant proposes to build a 9 by 10 addition to the existing one-story portion at the rear of her home, and then build a 9 by 22-foot second level above that, as well as a 14 by 16 open deck, all at 89 Oak Street. A plot plan dated June 27th, 1921 shows that this addition would be built at a distance of 3.1 feet from the left side property line, and the deck 2.9 feet when a minimum of 6 feet are normally required. The property lies in a residence C zone, and also with the file, we have the application and a denial letter from Joe Prondak, our building inspector. There's a plot plan outlining where the existing building is and the proposed addition. We have also a letter from Deborah Johnson Malden at 85 Oak Street, which I assume is directly to one side of you. Is that correct?
Correct.
And she is in favor of your application, as are Ellen and William Silk at 91 Oak Street, to the other side of your property. We don't have too much in the way of what this is going to look like in specifications other than dimensional. And so I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about your application.
Sure. So basically, like you stated, I'm looking to expand the kitchen. The house, as you can see, it's not that large. It's 1,300 square feet. And right now there is actually a back porch where I'm proposing to build the addition. So although it's going to go within the setback, it's not going to go beyond the existing structure that's already there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping to, like I said, just take down that porch that needs to come down anyhow. It's, rotted at this point, and just expand the kitchen to line with the rest of the house, which is already there, the other side.
And would you be finishing the addition to be consistent with the current existing house as far as, trimmings and paint colors and so forth?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Crystal, is there anyone else that would, or anyone, since we don't have anyone besides the applicant here right now, that wants to speak about this application?
Yes, I have a Michael Patton, and let me just promote him over.
Are you there, Michael Patton?
Hi, I am. I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Thank you. I
What
recently,
is your address, if you could tell me, please?
thank you, 91 Oak Street.
91.
I recently purchased the property there
Oh,
from the Silks. So I'm sure the application firm started several months ago, and everything takes
did.
a long time.
it did. It's over a year old, as a matter of fact. So poor Mrs. Fontes has been very patient with the Board of Appeals. But we're trying to make
I
it
know how
work
the
out.
process works. Well, it would directly abut me more to my side, and I'm completely in favor for this project being done. For the short time since I've known her, she's an excellent neighbor, and I love her as my neighbor. So I am looking forward to the project going forward, and her she's only closing in a small little porch and cleaning the house up. I think it's excellent. And so I'm greatly in favor of this.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you very much for your testimony.
So that
Um,
sounds like
Thank
it's
you.
double up. That's the Silks from a year ago and me now. So that's a double win, I guess.
Well, that's good.
All right,
It
favorite.
means there's consistency in the goodness of your neighbor at, at, at 89 Oak Street. So
Yeah. So
that says a
we're
lot for
thrilled,
the applicant.
we're thrilled with whatever she's doing. She's not doing anything major. Trust me. We talked about and all that. And as a builder, that she's very minor. So what she's doing. So, but I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you
Have
for
a
your
good
input.
Thanksgiving. Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
And I see there's another neighbor has come on board here. I see Deborah Johnson Malden.
That is me. And I am Livia's neighbor on the other side. Again, she's been my neighbor for over 15 years. And again, I'm complete support. Our houses mirror each other, so definitely as far as upkeep and neighborhood enhancement and just an excellent neighbor, I am definitely in support of her project.
Well, thank you so much for your testimony as well. Again, it's a happy neighborhood. I'm glad to hear that.
It is.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak in favor or against the project?
I don't see anyone at this time, no.
Don't see anyone, so we will close the evidentiary portion of the hearing. And I will deliberate amongst myself on what my thought is on the application. I think this is a great application. This is going to be something that brings the house into the 21st century. We all need bigger kitchens than were built back in the old days of when that neighborhood was built. I used to live there myself, about a block away. So my kitchen was very lacking, very lacking. So the need is certainly there for something to happen along this line. The neighbors that would be the most affected by this have both spoken and historically have spoken in complete favor of the project, and with great compliments for Mrs. Fontes. And so I see this as something that's going to be a great asset in the house. It's going to be a great asset in the neighborhood, and will not derogate from the zoning bylaw. And so with that, I say congratulations on your special permit.
Yay. Thank
And,
you.
I will be writing a decision on this that will be filed in the town clerk's office. And at that point,
Okay.
there's a 20-day waiting period, which is for people that that are not here today that may have wanted to say something about it could appeal it. It's not common though,
Okay.
and you seem to have good eyes on the neighborhood to see that that's going to be okay. And then after that, then you can start your get your building permit and start your construction. Also, you should probably want to take this over to the Registry of Deeds and have it filed so that if at some point somebody comes along and says, what's this extra construction doing here and why should that be here, then you'll have something that shows that this was in fact a legal addition in spite of the zoning bylaw. So that and Crystal can tell you more about that as well. So congratulations on your special permit, and
Thank you so much.
good luck
Greatly
in your new
appreciate it.
kitchen.
Yes, I'm excited.
Great.
All right,
Well,
hon.
happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
You as well.
Have a good
Thank
night.
You as well.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're going to call to order the 5 o'clock hearing on the application of attorney Marion McKettrick on behalf of her clients Matthew and Melissa Ashone for a special permit allowing the removal of an existing second floor and its replacement with a 24.5 foot by 34 foot second level with a low pitch roof along with an additional farmer's porch, which would violate the terms of section 6C1 side yards and section 6B3 front yards of the Milton zoning bylaw. The applicant also seeks a variance allowing a one-story shed toward the rear of their property, which would violate the terms of section 6C2 and 6D3, all at 138 Elliott Street. A plot plan dated April 4th, 2022 shows that the second story addition would be 4.7 feet from the left side lot line when 10 are normally required by the bylaw. The front porch would be 13.7 feet from the front lot line when 17.5 are normally required, and 5 feet from the left lot line where 10 are normally required. The rear porch would be 4.7 feet from the left side lot line when 10 are normally required, and 23 feet from the rear lot line when 26.3 are normally required. The detached shed would be 5 feet from the side and rear lot lines when 8 are normally required. The property lies in a Residence C zoning district. In the file, we have a denial letter and the reasons why that is from our building inspector, Joe Prondak. We have a plot plan of April 7, 2022, and a quitclaim deed from the previous owners deeding the property to the applicants, and current and proposed architectural drawings, floor plans, and elevations. We also have letters from, let's see, Gonzo and Matthew Morong at 136 Elliott Street, and saying that they have no objection to the application. And from Elaine Schatzel from 142 Elliott Street, who is also in accord with the application, as well as Ken Murphy at 140 Elliott Street. So that would be the neighbors closer to the right-hand side. We have a 2-page, well, 3-page, including the signature letter from Mrs. McKettrick that I think she's probably looking to go through with and discuss with us and say what the application is all about and why it should be granted. Mrs. McKettrick?
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Marion McKettrick and I represent the applicants. The applicants purchased the property in July 2021, and I believe they purchased it from Melissa's parents. So she, I think, grew up in this house and is very familiar with it. They do want to, as you have explained, renovate and add on to this existing house, which is quite small. And they want to add a full second story, a porch in the front, and a covered deck in the rear. This is a pre-existing non-conforming structure and lot, because the house was constructed in 1920 at 4.7 feet rather than the required 10 feet from the left side lot line. The new addition will follow that same 4.7 feet setback. Will not increase, will not make it less. And what does get intensified a little bit is there's a farmer's porch to be added to the front that will bring the house a little bit closer to the front lot line, as was explained by Virginia King, and a deck and a screened-in porch to the rear of the house, which will slightly increase or decrease the rear lot line setback. Because this is a pre-existing non-conforming structure and lot, this application is for a special permit, not a variance. According to the Balalta case, this type of application only has to show that there's no substantial detriment to the neighborhood. I did include an application for a variance for the shed, even though I had Joe Prondak's denial letter in front of me, just because I wasn't absolutely sure whether that was correct. After I filed the application, I did go back and meet with Joe Prondak, and he confirmed that this is only subject to a special permit and does not require a variance. So that's his determination that the shed structure, as well as the changes in dimensions of the existing house, are all subject to the standard of a special permit and must be approved that way, but do not require a variance. The conceptual architectural plans filed with this application show a design that increases in height, but not in width. And it has some attractive architectural features, including a roof peak in the front and a front porch with a railing the width of the house in the front. In the back, this is a very small lot. It's like something like a little over, it's 3,947 square feet, though, so 3,947 square feet. It has a small backyard. And at the present time, I believe the backyard is paved, or a lot of it is, and the applicants intend to remove some of that paving or most of it. And they want to create this small shed in the backyard. But I think the net benefit when the paving is removed, the shed will not be a detriment, and it's very small anyway. It's just something to store tools and that sort of thing. It doesn't actually require a building permit, but it does require, normally in a new lot, would have to be set back that 8 feet, and the rear lot line setback for an accessory structure. The first floor will be renovated, and it's going to become an open kitchen, dining area, and family room. The second floor will enclose a master bedroom and master bathroom, one additional bathroom, and 2 more bedrooms. So this house will go from having 1 bathroom, 3 bedrooms, small rooms, to having, nicely sized rooms. It's not a huge enlargement, and the design of the house is very appropriate for the nearby residential structures. What is interesting about this house is very close to to the intersection with Central Ave. There are 2 allowed by special permit, 2 higher density condominium developments very close to this house, one towards the rear and one across the street on Elliott Street. Nevertheless, the design the applicants have chosen for this reconstruction is one that's very appropriate to the smaller lots and houses on Elliott Street that are nearby. So I think it will be a benefit to the neighborhood to do this renovation, update the house, create the type of living space people really need today and maybe always did, but it's certainly going to be much more comfortable to live in than the previous design. The applicants' immediate neighbors on each side have signed letters of support. They're the ones who would be affected by this addition, if anyone would be. And towards the rear, there is a neighbor. I don't know if the applicants have talked to that neighbor, but that neighbor is on Central Ave. House is towards the front of the lot. And at the rear of the lot, there are 2 small, either garages or shed structures. So they're really not anywhere near the small shed that's going to be added in the back or the slightly reduced setback. So I ask that you consider granting the special permit. We'd be happy to answer questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you very much. It's quite comprehensive, and the submission is quite comprehensive with the plans, and it looks like a really wonderful addition, and a well-needed addition apparently as well. Is there anyone out in Zoom land that would like to register their approval or disapproval of the application?
No, Jenny, I don't see anyone with their hand up.
Okay, I see that Matt and Melissa are here and listening attentively. So if there's nobody waiting to be heard, I will close the evidentiary portion of our hearing and deliberate on this. Oh wait, let me ask one thing. No, I answered that myself. I'll close the evidentiary portion of the hearing and deliberate on the merits of this application. I think this is a very thoughtful use of the land. It's a small lot. It's making good use of it without overbuilding on it, but making it something that a family can live in without being on top of each other. That's a very good thing. I noticed that it's a previously non previously existing non-compliant lot. And so the setback is not going to be any further closer to neighbors' yards than the house currently is. It's merely extending that a little bit in length. Well, and for the front yard, we haven't got anybody across the street that's annoyed about this. I think that's where the large condos are going in right now. So it is an unusual neighborhood in that it does have a couple of large condominium complexes around, and yet it's historically been a single family or two family neighborhood, and I find that this will be an asset to the neighborhood. It will make the neighborhood look better. It will make the house more livable. I see no detriment to the neighborhood. And so I am now hereby voting that I will grant the special permit. And I'm also, I think we should probably just to keep it as legal as possible, maybe we should throw in the variance as well for the shed.
No problem.
I think that would probably give a better title to the land as things go forward.
Mhm.
And so we will add that into it too. So congratulations on the special permit and the variance. And I look forward to seeing how this looks on Elliott Street in the months to come. So congratulations.
Thank you. And Virginia, would it be helpful if I provided some kind of draft for your decision? I can see you're doing a lot of cases, so.
I am doing a lot of cases, and I will say yes right now.
All right, thank you. I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, I could be moving things around a little bit, but that would be great. Thank you very much. Ms.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
Have
great.
a good evening, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.